In today's video, I have to survive 100 days as a skeleton. And also, I have 3 objectives. First, build myself a spooky mansion. Second, get myself a skeleton horse. And finally, defeat the Ender Dragon. So here we go, our journey begins on day 1, and the first thing I noticed, I could see I was at this gravesite, and also there was a chest right in front of me. So I opened up this chest, finding myself some bones, and also some rotten flesh. Not the best food source, but I'll take it. Anyways, after that, I went to go and investigate, and I found a skeleton creeper, which is pretty cool, and also these graves. So I broke the cobblestone, and I found even more rotten flesh. Not that good. Oh well. So I continued searching, and then I found some golden carrots. Now I'll be sure to take these, and also some iron boots. These should surely keep me safe. Anyways, I continued to go around the gravesite, investigating to see what else I could find. And after a little bit of exploring, I could see that there was this tree, so I thought why not go over there and get myself some wood. So I collected myself some spruce wood and made a wooden pickaxe and also a wooden axe. Very nice. Anyways, I continued to go around and collect myself some more loot, and then there it was, enchanted golden apple. And also I found some raw copper and also some amethysts. I'll need this for my spyglass. But I could also see it was getting morning very quickly. This was not good, oh no. So I rushed to the caves so I could be safe. But as I was making myself way down into the caves, I stumbled across the skeleton spawner. And surprisingly, I was able to find myself some iron, a saddle, and also an iron bucket. I'll be sure to take this. And also, there was so much iron in this cave, so I collected some iron and decided to make some iron armor, like a helmet and also a chest plate. But I almost forgot about the spyglass, so I decided to make that as well. And as I was searching around, I stumbled across this mineshaft. And then, as I was investigating the mineshaft, I stumbled across this axolotl. So I thought, why not keep this axolotl as my very own pet? So I got my iron bucket and collected up the axolotl. And here it is, we finally got an axolotl pet. This was great. But then, there it was, a diamond. Wow, we got our first diamond. Anyways, I left the caves and stumbled across a abandoned village. This was great. So I went around investigating to see what else I could find. And I have to say, this place was pretty empty, but there was this zombie villager. Anyways, I found this house and I found this chest, which had some emeralds. So I went around the entire village, getting myself some useful things. I'm sure the villagers won't mind. Anyways, I headed back to the gravesite and thought, you know what? Here looks like a fantastic place to build my base. So I placed down my crafting table, furnace, and also a chest. And before I forget, I made sure to smelt up all that iron that I collected earlier. And before I built my base, I wanted to make a potato farm. So I used a variety of different blocks like stone bricks, cracked stone bricks, and also some moss blocks, which looks pretty good. And of course, you cannot forget about decoration. So I decorated the place up, and here it is. Looks pretty good if I do say so myself. Okay, I definitely think it's about time we build our very own home. Here looks like a great spot, but first I would need loads and loads of materials. So I headed back to the caves, get myself loads of stone, and also thought why not go and get myself some dark oak wood. So that's exactly what I did. Alright, that should do it. So I headed back home and started construction on my very own home. Using a variety of different blocks like dark oak wood, dark oak stairs for the roof, which looks pretty good if I do say so. And also added some leaves around. You cannot forget about leaves. And on day 12, here it is. It looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. Starting off right here, we have a bit of a path, which looks pretty good. And if we head indoors, you can see we've got all our furnaces, crafting tables, and also chests. Added some dark oak wood for the floor. And if we head upstairs, and yeah, I think it looks amazing. I'm very happy with this build. Anyways, it's time to go and check up on our potato farm to see how it's doing. And yep, it was doing amazing. So I collected myself some potatoes. So I cooked up some potatoes and also thought why not make myself a bow. I was a skeleton after all, so I made myself a bow, but we had a slight problem. I didn't have any arrows. So I went around getting myself some feathers. And of course I would need some flint. So I headed to the caves and collected some flint. And that should do it. So I get home and make a bunch of arrows. And yep, that should do it. But just take a look at our armor. It is no good. Oh no. I think it's time we go for an upgrade. So I headed back to the caves and collected some iron. I'll need a lot of this. Hey, and also, as I was exploring the caves, I found some lapis. Now, I'll need this for enchanting. Hey, an emerald. I rarely find these. It was nice to find an emerald for once. But then, as I was exploring the caves, there it was. Diamonds. This was great. I headed down there the quick as I could and collected my first diamonds. So, what I decided to do was to make a diamond pickaxe and collect myself some obsidian. You see, I will need this obsidian to make myself the enchantment table and, of course, the nether portal. So I collected up all the obsidian and then returned home. Finally, we arrived home, and I have to say, it's nice to be back home, but I wanted to smelt up that iron that I collected, but then I realised my axolotl does not have a home, but I've got to work on making my axolotl her very own home. Use some stone blocks, some cobblestone, and also a bit of moss blocks, which look pretty good. Finally, here it is. Looks pretty good. Anyways, it's time to place in my axolotl. Hey, I also could see all my iron has smelted up. So, I made myself a full set of iron armor. This should surely keep me safe. And just like that, there it is. A full set of iron armor. Well, I definitely think it's about time to go to the Nether. So I placed in some obsidian, and there it is. The Nether portal. So I headed through, and as I got through to the other side, there wasn't much really, just this soul sand valley. So I went exploring and stumbled across this crimson forest. So I thought, why not collect myself some crimson wood? Hey, and also, I've had some streamlights. So I collected those as well. And you wouldn't believe it, I stumbled across a nether fortress. This was exciting, so I headed over there and collected myself some blaze rods. So I made sure to take down all the blazes, but I couldn't make potions without nether warts. So I went exploring, and guess what I found? Nether warts. So I collected up some nether warts, and I was now very happy. But then, as I was exploring, I stumbled across this bastion. This was great. So I went around the entire bastion and found myself a golden apple, and also, I have to say, there was a lot of gold here. So I collected up all the gold and then decided to return back home. So I happily arrived home, and I now wanted to make some potions. But first, we'll need a potion area. So I used some crimson wood and also some nether bricks, which looked pretty good. Placed in some obsidian, which looked pretty good, and then placed in the brewing stands, added a chest, and placed in some water. So I made some strength 2 potions and also decided to make some speed potions. You never know, I might need these. But then, as I was getting myself some potatoes, it started thundering. So I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to go and get myself my skeleton horse. Then I found one. This was great. So I took down the skeletons, and I have to say, these skeletons were a little bit more powerful than I expected. But luckily I was able to take them down and get myself a skeleton horse. And there it is, we now got a skeleton horse. Wow. Well, we finally arrived home, and I noticed that there was this piece of fire with this netherrack. That's a bit odd. Anyways, I went to go and name my horse. I thought Nightmare would be a perfect name. And there it is. My pet horse has a name, but it doesn't have a place to live. So I spent the next couple of days constructing a stable for my horse. Once again, I used a variety of different blocks like dark oak wood, stone bricks, and also some spruce slabs, which looks pretty good. And here it is. It looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. With all the decoration, really adds to it. As you can see, we've got a nice pathway right here. And of course, the stable with the dark oak wood looks great. And then I decided to take my skeleton horse to a new home. And yeah, I could tell the skeleton horse really liked this place. This was great. Well, just take a look at our armor. It's no good. Oh no, I think we should go for an upgrade. Diamond sounds great. So I headed back to the caves, and there it was. Diamonds. So I went around the entire caves, get myself loads of diamonds. That should be plenty of diamonds. So I get back home and make a full set of diamond armor, like leggings, helmets, chest plate, and also some boots. And also made some diamond tools. Hey, I almost forgot about the enchantment table. So I made that as well. And once I was at the caves, I also found some more axolotls. So I placed them in. I could tell all the axolotls were very happy. This was great. Anyways, I think it's time to make an enchantment room. So I used some dark oak wood and also added some moss trees around. Look pretty good. Anyways, it's time to place in the enchantment table, and there it is. Now I wonder what enchants we can get. So I went to go and enchant my pickaxe, but sadly, there was no good. Oh no. So I went back to the Nether once again and got myself loads of blaze rods. And also, I would need loads of ender eyes. So I headed to the warp forest and got myself some ender pearls. I would need a lot of these. That should do it. So I get home and make some ender eyes. And I think it's time to go and find the stronghold. But then, the next day, as I was searching, there it was, the stronghold. And then, after a bit of searching, there it was, the library. This was very good. So I rushed over there the quick as I could and got myself some bookshelves. I would need loads of these. Hey, and also, I found this book, and I could see it had loyalty 3 and sharpness 3. This was great. Anyways, I collected up some more bookshelves, and then I stumbled across the end portal. This was great. So what I decided to do was to place in all the end eyes that I had. Anyways, I get home and now placed in all the bookshelves that I had. And I have to say, luckily, we had loads, which is great. And there it is. The enchantment room is now done. But I definitely think it's about time we do some enchanting. So I went to go and enchant my pickaxe, get myself Unbreaking 3 and Efficiency 4. Also decided to enchant my sword, get myself Sharpness 3. As you can see, we got an enchanted sword and an enchanted pickaxe. But we don't have any enchanted armor, and we would need enchanted armor. So I went around the entire Nether, get myself loads and loads of levels. I would need loads of these, and that should do it. 50 levels should be plenty. So I went back home and enchanted all my armor, get myself some pretty good stuff. And then I enchanted my bow, get myself Infinity and also Power 3. And there it is. We now got a full set of diamond armor and tools. Wow. And now what I decided to do was to also make some targets. You see, I needed to practice my skills as a skeleton. And I have to say, I was not that good. Oh no. So I kept practicing, and I have to say, I got a bit carried away. Okay, that's enough target practicing. And now what I wanted to do was to do a bit of decorating. I wanted to plant in these big trees, but the problem was I needed more saplings. So I spent a couple days getting myself loads and loads of saplings. And then I went home and planted in a load more trees. You see, I wanted this place to look like a forest. And here it is. Doesn't look too bad if I do say so myself. But that wasn't it. Oh no, I also wanted to plant in some pumpkins. So I made a pumpkin farm and collected up loads and loads of pumpkins. You see, I would need loads of these for decoration, and I thought, why not go and try it on a pumpkin? So I carved a pumpkin and I could barely see. This was not good. So I switched back to my iron helmet, and that's a lot better. Anyways, I spent the next couple of days decorating. You see, I wanted this place to look very spooky, so I built some walls and also added loads and loads of pumpkins around. Placed in a few candles, which looked pretty good. And here it is. It looks pretty good. As you can see, we've got loads of pumpkins right here, some candles, some new pathways, and yeah, just a load of decoration. This place looks amazing now. Wow, I'm very happy with this build. I think it looks amazing. Well, I think it's now time to go on a bit of an adventure. So I headed around across the seas and found this shipwreck. But for some strange reason, it was floating. But then I found this buried treasure map. This was great. So I thought, why not go and find myself some treasure? So I headed out, and here should be the spot. So I started digging, and after a little bit of digging, there it was, the buried treasure. So I opened up this treasure chest, finding myself a load of iron, gold, emeralds, and of course, the heart of sea. Anyways, my journey continues across the seas, and I stumbled across this strange biome. I could see all the leaves were off the trees, so I went to go and investigate to see what I could find. But sadly, there was nothing around. It was completely empty. Oh well, so I decided to leave the area and go and continue exploring. But then, as I was exploring, I stumbled across this abandoned village. This was great, so I headed over there and collected up some blast furnaces and also this stone cutter. I'm sure the villagers won't mind. Hey, and also, there was loads of hay at this village, so I collected up loads of hay. Hey, I found myself a new swamp biome. This was exciting, so I headed over there and collected some mud. You never know, I might need this for decoration. Gathered up a bunch of wood and also found this frog. Collected up a few leaves. You never know, I might need these. Wait a second, is that a desert temple? Yes, it is. So I headed over there and collected up some TNT and also found some emeralds and of course a diamond. This was great. Anyways, I left the desert temple and stumbled across a badlands biome. This was great. I was looking for one of these. So I decided to go and get myself some terracotta. But then I stumbled across this giant cave. I could see there was some gold. And also, I could see, there it was, the deep dark. I had to go and investigate this. So I made myself a way down into the deep dark. I knew I had to be careful. The warden was around here somewhere. And surprisingly, as I was sneaking around, there it was, a diamond. Wow. But then, you wouldn't believe it. As I was making myself a way through the deep dark, I found an ancient city. I couldn't believe the odds. So I rushed down there and went to go and loot up the place, finding myself some diamond leggings with protection 4. Then I heard this noise, and then there he was, the warden. This was really bad, so I backed up and sprinted as fast as I could. But luckily for me, I was able to lose the warden, and I continued to go around and loot up the place, finding myself loads of amazing loot. Alright, time to leave the deep dark, so I left the caves and continue exploring. But then, you wouldn't believe what I found. There it was, a jungle. This was great. So I rushed over there as quick as I could and got myself some cocoa beans. You see, I would need these cocoa beans to make myself some cookies. And what's that? A jungle temple? Yes, it is. So I headed over there and collected myself some amazing loot, like these diamonds and also this enchanted book, which had power 4 on it. Now, I'll be sure to take this. Anyways, I collected up some bamboo, because I might need this. And also, I found some pandas. This was great. So what I decided to do was to give some bamboo to the pandas. And I could see there was very happy pandas. Well, we finally arrived back home. And I have to say, it's nice to be back home. But the first thing I wanted to do was to make myself some cookies. So I did. And I think it's about time we do some more building. So I flattened up the ground and decided to make an abandoned church. Used a variety of different blocks like stone bricks, some cobblestone, and also I decided to use some spruce stairs, which look pretty good. Added some decoration, which looks pretty nice. What's a building without windows? I'm not sure, so I placed in some glass, and that looks a lot better. Hey, and also, I thought why not add this music box? And here it is. And I have to say, this looks incredible. With all the decoration, looks amazing. As you can see, we've got some nice pathways right here, which look pretty good. And of course, vines, cobwebs, and candles. And if we head into the building, you can see we've got some nice flooring, a load of bookshelves, some barrels, some vines, and of course this skeleton head. And also these wither roses as well. And yep, I have to say, I'm very happy with this build. I think it looks incredible. Well, I also decided to get myself this loot-and-free sword. You might be asking, why do I need a loot-and-free sword? You see, I wanted to take down the wither, so I collected up loads of levels, and then headed back home and got my loot-and-free sword. And I thought, why not combine it with my other sword to make the ultimate sword? And then I headed back to Nether once again and got myself loads and loads of wither skulls. I would need loads of these. And that should do it. That should be all the wither heads we need. It's time to take on the wither. This is it. It is now time. It is now time to take on the wither. So I headed across the lands and found this spot. I thought here would be a perfect place to take down this beast. So I placed all the soul sand one by one, and then I went to go and place in the wither head, and there it is, the wither. So I quickly had a strength 2 potion and started to use my arrows to take down this beast, and I could tell this wither was not happy. Oh no. So I used my bow the best that I could to do damage to the wither. And surprisingly, I was able to get the wither down to half health. So I used my sword to do some serious damage. But the wither was stronger than I expected and did some serious damage. This was not good. And if it couldn't get any worse, my helmet broke. and I caught on fire by the sun, and I had no choice but to eat my enchanted golden apple. I knew I had to end this as soon as possible, so I had enough strength potion and started doing damage to the wither. And then finally, after a few swings, there it was. The wither has been defeated. Wow, we did it. Anyways, I headed back home and decided to make the beacon, and there it is. Wow. Anyways, I placed in a bunch of gold and then placed in the beacon, and there it is. We now have a beacon. So what I decided to do was to equip it with speed, and I could now run very fast. This was amazing. Anyways, I headed back to Nether to get myself loads and loads of gold. And then what I decided to do was to go and make myself a full set of netherite armor. You see, I would need a lot of ancient debris if I was turning all my armor into netherite. So I went around the entire Nether, get myself loads and loads of ancient debris. That should do it. That should be all the ancient debris we need. So I rushed back home and smelted up all the ancient debris that I collected. And once I was waiting for all the ancient debris to be smelted up, I thought, why not make the smithing table? And then I patiently waited for all my ancient debris to be smelted up and turned all my armor into netherite. And there it is. We now have a full set of netherite armor and tools. Wow, there it is. It's now time. It's now time to take down the Ender Dragon. So I collected all the stuff that I needed from my chest, all my armor and equipment, all the stuff I would need for this fight. And before I left, I made sure to say goodbye to my pets. This might be the last time I would ever see them. And then there it was, the end portal. Wow, there it is. So I placed in all the Eyes of Ender one by one, and a portal opened. This is it. There's no turning back now, so I didn't hesitate and I jumped through. And as I got through to the other side, there she was, the Ender Dragon. And I could tell the Ender Dragon was not happy whatsoever. Oh no, I knew what had to be done. I had to take down all the end crystals as soon as possible. So that's what I did. And there it is, all the end crystals have been destroyed. It's now time to take down this Ender Dragon once and for all. This is it. It is now time. It is now time to end this fight once and for all. So I waited for the right opportunity and I struck, taking down the Ender Dragon. Wow. There it is. Wow, there it is. We did it. We defeated the Ender Dragon. Just take a look at all this XP. There was so much XP here, so I collected up all the XP, and before I went home, I also wanted to go and get myself the Ender Egg. So I did, and there it is. Wow. Anyways, it is now time to return back home. So I safely make it home, and now what I wanted to do was to make a place for the Ender Egg. So I used a variety of different blocks, like a diamond block, and also some endstone. And finally, on day 100, here it is. It looks pretty awesome if I do say so myself. Anyways, it's time to place in the Ender Egg, and there it is. Wow, we did it. And there it is, we did it. We finally survived 100 days as a skeleton in hardcore Minecraft. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all next time. Peace out.